I think our awareness of BVD was heightened by a friend of ours having his herd infected, so we started to talk to our vet about what we should be looking for in our herd, and we decided to bulk test the milk and also get a good guide from the vet on what we should be looking for in our animals. Knew very little about BVD at that time, and it was just a case of an education process, learning from the vets and other farmers that had had problems with it. After the tests, we found out some of our stock were positive, and we were looking for a PI or persistent infected animal, and it was quite disappointing really, but the good thing about farming in New Zealand is everybody talks to everybody else, and soon we knew we weren't alone, so there was a lot of people and information we could draw on to help us work it through. We put a management plan in place with our vet because we needed to have a timeline of things we could do to make sure we were on the right track to minimising the risk of BVD. And the first thing we did was a bulk milk test, and then the vets were talking about smaller animals, young stock that were not thriving well, and we made a decision that we would look at the lowest producing heifers in the herd from that year because we had a feeling they'd been compromised at grazing. And that was a lucky guess, backed up with some science, because we found our PI straight away and we were able to remove from the herd. And following on from that, we then made a decision to vaccinate calves each year. In terms of vaccinations, the Bovilus product we used was great. It's very simple to use, and we just made a decision to do it early on with the calves to build up the immunity in the herd. We weren't naive enough to think we could totally remove it, but understanding was if you've got a herd with some natural immunity in it, that will help mitigate the problem, but we thought we'd front load it by vaccinating the calves. Oh, huge peace of mind basically for us as farmers. It's not a cheap solution, but you look at the cost of a herd, the average herd they reckon is about $70,000, so vaccination is just a small part of that. One of the things we realised that it wasn't going to go away, and we had to keep monitoring it, so we continued to bulk test, continue to vaccinate the calves, and we haven't had a PI since, but if we do, the first thing will be to remove her and also test any offspring of hers and remove them as well. I think it's a long-term process, and as time goes on, maybe less risk than previously, but we just keep moving on and keep monitoring. I think as farmers we learned about the support of a good vet and good advice, and also having a good plan in place. You must have a plan and work through it, and when you're sort of halfway through, keep monitoring, don't sort of give up, because the day you stop checking is the day it'll come and bite you on the bum.